Hello and welcome to the Election Corner on One Man Think Tank. Today I'm going to be giving you my presidential election prediction for the third week of August. Yes, I've decided I'm going to start doing these things weekly. They keep changing, so be prepared for a presidential and Senate election each week. But first off, here is our map currently, with Joe Biden, the Democrat, holding all of the seats Hillary Clinton won, plus a pickup in Pennsylvania. I never marked pickups as anything. Oh, shoot, I missed Washington, D.C. But anyway, I never mark pickups as higher than likely, but it's so guaranteed of a pickup, I've decided to move it to I've decided to put it on the initial map because it's not a surprise. Meanwhile, Donald Trump holds most of the Great Plains. In fact, he should hold all of the Great Plains. And most of the South. As you can see, he's got some weaknesses down here in the coastal part of the South, as well as Texas. Now, this initial setup is really bad for Donald Trump. Joe Biden is 18 electoral votes away from winning the presidency, meaning he just needs to win either two of these smaller states, or Ohio, Florida, or Texas, and he wins the presidency. Not a good place you want to be if you're Donald Trump, already unpopular. Now, on account of the fact that there has been some recent discussion about this, I just want to say, when I do my predictions, I act as though the election were being held today. And the reason why is you can't predict into the future. That's how people like Nate Silver get away with normalizing their election predictions, or not having them fluctuate as much. I think a fluctuating map is actually very helpful because it tells you how things currently stand. I think trying to project out to election day is an effort in soothsaying, and I don't like to put much stock into that. Rather, this is what it would look like if the election was held today with some minor adjustments. I will usually foresight out and say over time, it's likely something's going to get more friendly or less friendly to a certain party, but anyway, let's dive right in. So let's put down some more likely states for the Democrats, with Michigan and Wisconsin, and yes, the election's over, Joe Biden wins. I don't mean to be that guy, but it's true. This map right now is awful for Donald Trump. It is, I would say, the worst map for a Republican, except for since Romney ran against Obama, like in predictions, because while Barack Obama was predicted to win fewer states, he was predicted to win what's called the Blue Wall, which was up here and the West Coast, though the Blue Wall is shifting more southwest now. But either way, as you can see, Joe Biden wins these two seats in the Great Lakes. He is polling incredibly well there, breaking 50%. I think Wisconsin and Michigan could be up on the board next week when you log in, and that's going to be really boring because you already know who wins. But let's keep going. As you know, the Democratic National Convention has been held this week, and so Ohio, actually, given the polling plus John Kasich's endorsement of Joe Biden, you might have seen there are one or two polls which show Joe Biden winning Ohio, but those are 45 to 44 polls, where Joe Biden's winning by 1 point and they're both in the middle. I think when that silent majority of Republicans in Ohio comes through, Joe doesn't win. But I will say, an endorsement from Kasich plus decent polling means Ohio is not as secure for the Republicans as I imagine many would like it to be on their side. So Ohio is leans. Over to Iowa, which is in a basically identical position. Joe Biden is polling well, but he's not polling high. And you have enough of Iowa pushing away from the Republican Party. This is the same thing with Joni Ernst in the Senate race, where you have people who are going, well, I'd do Iowa, but I'd vote blue, but sorry, not I would vote blue. I am suffering from a nasty amount of congestion right now, so it's making me a little bit spacey. I would normally vote Republican, but I don't know if I'm going to vote right now. Those votes do not translate into Democratic votes. Those translate into votes. Usually defaults back to its original party. So if those guys don't go out and vote, this is a tilt blue state. If they do go out and vote, it's a likely Republican state. Merge those together and you have a leans Republican state. Speaking of leans Republican, Nebraska's 2nd District. There's a very popular congressional challenger running for the Democratic Party, and Joe Biden has polled decently there. Barack Obama was even able to win it in 2008 with Joe Biden on his side. Now, I think the country's gotten a lot more polarized in the following 12 years, but I think Nebraska's 2nd District is in play. Speaking of 2nd Districts that are in play, Maine's 2nd District is looking like it may not be. Now, it's as in play as Iowa or Ohio, but keep in mind, leans is not tilt. Leans means that 55 to 60% of the time, the color it is wins. So Republican win Ohio, Iowa, Maine's 2nd is won by the Democrat. Joe Biden has the regional support. He's got the polling numbers coming in for him, though they are lower than Maine's general. And also, there's ranked choice voting in the Senate election, which is going to encourage a lot more people to show up to vote, and that always hurts the Republicans. Down in Kansas, it is likely Republican. For a while, Joe Biden had we haven't had much polling out of Kansas, had a few decent polls, and we also got to see Kansas Senate race really start to pull in some attention. But Joe Biden, Trump is starting to show strength in Kansas, and also Kansas itself is starting to seemingly solidify back to the Republicans, at the very least for the statewide elections, or federal elections, I should clarify. But another state that Republicans are losing, Arizona, which is, for right now, a leans state. It was likely, now it's leans. We've seen some polling come out that shows Arizona may be a little bit more fluctuating a little bit more at the presidential level than it is at the Senate level. Though I do think the Senate election very much solidifies the fact that the Democrats are going to have strong support in the statewide race, which is a great place to be if you are a Democrat. Not so great if you're a Republican, because Joe Biden's already about to breach 300. Over to North Carolina, where it is tilt Democratic. Democrats are pulling away in the Senate race, they're pulling away in the gubernatorial race, and they are slightly ahead in the presidential election. I think over the next couple of months, we're going to see North Carolina get more blue, as the presidential race follows the other two statewide races. But for right now, it's only a tilt blue, for the main reason of Joe Biden is not polling well, Donald Trump isn't polling well either, but you can't win an election without votes. And so Joe Biden is polling slightly better than Trump in a state that in the other races is polling a lot better than the Democrats are polling a lot better than the Republicans, so I could see some coattails coming in. Down to Georgia, Republicans are going to hang on to Georgia if the election were held today. Biden is polling very well, like within 3%, but he seems to have not won over the key Georgia suburbs, plus voter suppression makes me think Georgia is a leans Republican state right now. As for Florida, that's likely Democrat. I've been so hesitant to say this, but it is. Joe Biden is polling amazingly in that state, breaking 50% in some cases. Florida is a strong likely for the Democrats, like I said, if the election were held today, and that's going to change. I don't know how it's going to change, but Florida is such a volatile state. It is all over the place every time, and frankly, a likely Florida is great for the Democrats, but they have to hang on to this momentum for basically another 3 months, which I personally am not confident in them being able to do that, especially with voter suppression and the like, and the fact coronavirus is spiking in Florida, so I have a feeling we'll have low turnout numbers. Lastly, we have Texas. I said last time I think Texas is tilt blue, after a rash of polling that shows it very Republican, it's now tilt red. But this shows you how volatile Texas is and how bad this is for Republicans. They have to pour money into Texas to try and keep Texas. And the polls Donald Trump wins are usually 48 to 47 type polling events. So here you have the map. The Democrats have a lot of safe seats they can win. Like, to give you an idea, they're on the verge of picking up 4 major, basically rebuilding Barack Obama's blue wall, plus picking up seats in the Southwest, plus picking up seats in the South, plus solidifying control in the Northeast. This is a bad map for Republicans because it's so hard to salvage it. They could pick up Iowa, they could pick up Ohio, they could pick up Georgia, they could pick up Texas. To give you an idea, this is the final map, of course, but if they picked up these states, Joe Biden's in the 400s. That is more than just a victory. That is a blowout. And that could crush your party for quite a while. That's how you get people trying to split off to form their own parties. But with all this being said, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment down below. If you want to see more from this channel, click the subscribe button and the notification bell. I also now have Twitter. Knew I was forgetting something, at OneManThinkTan1 at twitter.com. Or twitter.com/OneManThinkTan1. Either way, links in the description below. And, most importantly, as always, have a wonderful day.